Hi everybody, it's your buddy Brad here, and today we are going to look at a, a new technique that I've kind of come up with the help of some tips from Whitaker Courtney. All hail, Whitaker, all hail. Um, and I call it RecipTrees. Um, to show you a few example images. This was one of the first ones I did. I'll just go through here, some of them here real quick. I think this was one of them. I believe so. This was not. This was another example. Here I actually used Scary to make a circle. Then I filled the circle with bubble. This is one of my personal favorites from doing it. And then also, where did it go? This is probably my favorite one out of the ones I've done. But let's kick the tires and light the fire, so to speak. So you're going to go to JWildfire, go to New from Scratch. And you can start with linear, but I am going to start with mobius. Type in mobius. And then just change the variables here. We're going to set RE underscore A and RE underscore D to 1. All the others we're going to set to 0. And that's actually same thing as doing a linear. But we will, of course, change that up later on. It just gives us a little bit more flexibility. And let me change my readings here. Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, and then we're actually going to set this to pre-recip. Set it to 1. And we're going to set this reciprocal power to 0. And the divide power to 1. And the a sine h power to 1. So we have a sine h power and divide power set to 1. All others are set to 0 except the zx and zy multipliers, but we don't really want to change those. And next, we are going to select pre-blur, set to 10 for right now. We will be getting rid of the pre-blur later. So next, we're going to hit the L button up here for linked. And I'm going to add a new linked transform. And then again, we're going to select mobius just by typing in the letters. And again, so do the same setup. 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0. Then for the variation 2 here, we're going to come up here to post smart crop. I'm going to set that to 1. I'm going to change the power here to 2. So that actually gives us this kind of cylinder type shape here. But the problem is we want the cylinder to go vertical, not horizontal. And we also want to have a mirrored aspect to it. So we're actually going to come down here and set another post smart crop. I'm going to set this to 1. Set this power to 1. And then I'm going to create one more variation. This transform does most of the heavy lifting, I guess you could say. I'm going to select pre-post affine. I'm going to set that to 1. Now we're going to use set yaw here to 90. And if you see here, that actually just rotates. It just rotates the whole transform 90 degrees. So remember, when we hit blink, it also makes this variation hidden. So if you go to color, hidden. And of course, linking just 2 variations. One sets to 0, one sets to 1. And then on transform 2, the first transforms to 1, second transforms to 0. So now we actually want to keep some of this line here, but we don't want this line here. We want to keep the lines that are here. So we go back to the first post smart crop. We're going to come down here to crop mode. I'm going to set that to 2. Now watch when I set this to 2. I set the wrong one to 2. Set that one to 1. I'm going to set this second one, my apologies, set the second post smart crop to 2. That's what we wanted. We wanted to get rid of this line here. And now it is gone. But now we only have half of a cylinder. So to remedy that, we're going to come here and hit post mirror. And it's automatically on the x-axis, which we want. And we are done with this transform. And so we are going to do another add. And we're going to come down here to the chaos. Make sure we are on the view as from. Make sure this is checked, view as from. And we want to set 3 from 1. We're going to set that to 0. Zero. Okay, there we go. think my keyboard's acting a little oddly, of course. So next we're going to come here to the nonlinear tab and we are going to select parallel. And parallel is cool because it adds two, basically they're tile logs in on top and on bottom of the flame of the cylinder here. And now we are going to adjust how wide the gap is from the cylinder here. And we're just going to eyeball it. Actually, I'm going to use my magnifier here. Will it let me do that? It won't. And we really don't want to have gaps. Gaps are bad, okay? At least with this tutorial, please try not to have any gaps here. Okay, so now I have that set to 1.16, and I think that's pretty good. And so next we're going to reduce this variation, the triangles of it, down to where, see this line here, and this line here, are pretty close. I'm going to have a little bit of space, right? Yes. Actually, that gives us... Actually, that's perfect right here. So see how we have the one line here, a little bit of a space right here. If you look at my magnifier, we have the other line right here. This is how we want the parallel set up. And then you're going to add another variation, another transform, and then add another variation. And we're going to select separation. Now separation and splits are very similar. I prefer actually using separation. I'm going to set this x and the x inside to 0. I'm going to set this y to 1 for right now. I'm going to set the y inside to -1. I'm going to zoom out a little. Maybe a little bit too much there. And we're going to have again no gaps in this, at least not in this part of the tutorial. We don't want you don't want to have any gaps in between here. And I would say that looks pretty gosh dang good. So that's set to 1.32. And you know what? I am going to go ahead and add this flame So this is kind of like our very basic base. So next, you're going actually, wait a minute. Going back to the separation, we also want view as from 0. So you want the parallel and the separation view from 0 on the first transform. Now, we are going to come up here to this first transform, and we are going to just remove this free blur. We're going to zoom in. Make sure everything's right here. Looks right. So we are going to just start reducing the size of this triangle. See, I'm bringing my mouse wheel down. Then if we move it just a little to the left or to the right, in this place I'm using it to the right, and also on this transform we want to bring up the weight somewhere between 3 and 5 is good. So I'll split the difference and hit 4 right now. Now you see we're already starting to get kind of the tree type look. And let's go ahead and just do a little bit of some random colors here. Move our colors a little bit. There we go. Now we're just going to rotate this a little bit. And boom, we are getting trees. Right here. And I think this would be a good spot to say that's going to be our base. So I'm going to clipboard, come back to my guest here. So this site is based on GitHub. It's kind of like Pastebin, but it seems to be unlimited to the number of text objects you can add. I'm going to name this RecipTrees. RecipTrees tutorial. So yeah, this makes a pretty decent base. So now we can have some fun. We can start, like, at least I recommend mostly working on the first transform here. You can also use the second transform. I don't recommend touching the third or fourth transform here. So we can also start adding some fun stuff with this. We're going to start translating and moving things around. This is just a really fun setup. You can also come down here on the pre-reset, change Z to ZX add and ZY add. You can also play around with other settings here. Just set the ATAN mode. You can get some really cool things going on here. Actually, why is there this gap? That's why. How did that happen? Well, this is awkward. Don't know. Yeah, you want that there. You want that there. You want that there. That's right. I'm looking at my chaos. Somehow I had set 0 here, and that is not correct. That's what was causing that opening here. So tell you what, I'm going to just reset everything here. Isn't it great doing a live tutorial when something doesn't work? I actually like doing this because it shows that, you know, I'm human, I make mistakes. Crap happens sometimes, and you just have to go along with it. Right? Right. Set this to 0. That to 0. Come back here again. Reduce this down some. Rotate a little bit. You know, I think this is an even better base. There we go. Right. That's a good base right there. Yeah, let's give that a quick render. Actually, I'm going to come down to the gamma threshold, bring that up just a little bit, and bring down the fade right a little bit. Now to clipboard. Flame. That's going to be our base. Yeah. Here, let me actually name it here. So yeah, that's how you can like name your flames. In case you don't know that, there's this title button here. Fill in what you want. paste that here, and now we come back up here, we say flame name, here it is. Okay, so just go ahead, have fun with this. I've had a lot of fun with it. It's a really cool setup. Yeah, this looks a lot better. I don't know. Yeah, this looks a lot better now. Just play around with the variables, move the triangle around, play with the coloring, play with the gradients. I find earthly and neutral tones, natural tones, work very well with this. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. And until later, bye.